Yes. Hello from Scarborough Beach. It's a Monday night, about 9:30, I think. I've just been to the top end of town, get away from situations surrounding me, sort of on my street. I sort of go away, top end of town to chill out. But on this occasion, I got up to the top end of town, sat down and packet of sweets, and then there was a person sat down drinking alcohol and being not boisterous at first, but when I sat down he started being boisterous. I immediately took this as an attack because I'm aware that people sort of hang around with certain types of people and they have a certain way of thinking, and that certain way of thinking is very different to me. My way of thinking, I'm a very morally conscious person and things like that. This person just started being very leery, like that. He called me a white nigger, and I'm just like, well, hold on a minute. What's your problem with, I've gone to say that, well, you are fucking white trash, the way you fucking carry on, and the people you hang about with, I'm not prepared to take this on board because it's becoming a common occurrence of people being leery within voice distance of me, and I don't appreciate these people. I don't want to know these people. I don't want to be part of their promiscuous network. I'm not interested. If they want to be leery, they want to speak that way to people, then that makes it very clear to me that they are people who go out of the way to try and make life difficult for decent people. I said to this person, I said, you are white trash, you're a maggot. If you had anything about you, if you had any dignity, you wouldn't be attacking a decent person like me. And I said that right to his face, and he didn't really have an answer to that. And I just sort of think to myself, well, who are you subscribing to? What, are you sort of speaking with the same people that are making life difficult for people such as myself and people who have who have spoken about people of this nature in the past, people who are my friends, people who don't go around treating people like dickheads, people who don't label people. I mean, today when I saw that, I've been called a white nigger. I've offended because of my turban. I couldn't give a fuck, That's, my respect for Sikhs. It's not your fucking place to say anything. I've been called a Jesuit. I'm just like, well, I'm sorry, but if this is the way you treat Jesuits, compared to them, you're a fucking maggot. And then he sort of escalated to weirdo, which I think is a real deep insult. The whole thing was just completely unnecessary, though. I've just been on the beach. I'm just like, do a vlog about it, Sam, because you don't need this harassment. You don't need it. You don't deserve it. I've told him, just stay away from me. I was the one who got up and left when I sat down within a short period of time of all this slander. I did say a few things to make it clear that I rebuke what that person was saying, and I have a contention with everything that they are trying to sort of put on me. I'm not willing to take any of their criticism on board. And I just, I did that, rebuked the person, and then left pretty much. But it really is a point of contention for me now to stand up for myself against these sort of people, because gradually they are making things more awkward and being more uncivil, so it's not something that I should need to stand for. I know that if these people were to sort of come up against me with people that I know, friends of mine, family of mine, there would be points of contention everywhere, because these people do not share the moral compass that I do. But my friends and my family understand that I'm very much aware of what a moral compass is and how to treat people, I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I'm, but I don't go out of my way to make things difficult for other people, and I don't work through other people to make things difficult for that person, sort of using people as devices to call people out. And this is exactly what they're doing. They think it's standard procedure to, I suppose, to use people, to try and manipulate situations so that they get involved in situations and become of a similar nature. And if that were, that would mean actively they'll be encouraging drugs and drinking and sexual promiscuity and treating people like shit and just being in general a fucking dickhead. And this isn't sort of a path of life that I want to go down. I'm not interested. Yeah. And I think it's just got to a really severe point, because you're calling me out. I am not like that. I've just found myself sticking up for black people. They're calling me a nigger, and I'm saying, well, you're fucking white trash. It just, I'm sort of thinking to myself, I do have friends who are black, and they would find that very offensive. And these people who are black actually have a lot more substance. They have a lot more to them. So I'd rather defend them than I would these people. I've just been along the beach, and 2 Chinese lasses. I'm just like, is this standard now? Just sort of foreign nationals. Years ago you might have had 2 white Caucasian girls. Now, they're not even interested in that sort of part of life, but the Chinese girls are. You see an African couple walking along, and it's like, all right, yeah, they're sort of appreciating things that you've got, but I just get the impression people don't show as much appreciation. I'm forgetting about the basics, and I'm sorry, but if I'm sort of being put in an awkward position and sort of recognising that black people have more fucking dignity than a bunch of scaggy white people who just treat people like shit, then, you know, I'll put in that position, but I'm sticking up for black people. And, you know, it upsets me. It upsets me because it's not it's like nature's telling you these people need your support. Forget about them. Forget about your domestic, because they're not worth it. They call you a nigger. Call me a nigger. If some people witness that situation, I think alarm bells will be ringing, because surely people are recognising that there's so much division within our own culture. And I suppose I'm speaking about white, Caucasian, and things like a white, supposedly man, I'd call him a rat, in his 50s, he's calling you a nigger, a white nigger. Just using that, I know some black people get offended just by people, especially white people, using that sort of terminology and just singling people out. I found it offensive because it's like I've been labelled, but I'll tell you what, I'll fucking stick up for the ones I know. I will, because they are worth it. These people attacking me, they're worth fuck all. And, you know, I'm content that I stood up, I rebuked that bloke, I told him where to go, I called him white trash, he's a fucking maggot, and I'm sorry, but this is he needs to correct his way of being. You can't go around treating people like that. In some places, just using the word nigger that'd be deemed as just so offensive to some people, especially black people, you know. I don't know, maybe it's all a big joke to them at the moment, and they're just trying to provoke and do a little bit of provocation, maybe. But while they're doing all this provocation, while they're doing all this, I'm listening to the language you're using. I'm listening to the stuff they're coming out with. And I'm sorry, but it's not just me that would be offended by what they said today. So, you know, and this person speaking out, doing all the offensive language, he didn't bring anything to the table. He's just an alcoholic sewer rat with a mouthful of drivel. But he had the nerve to start calling me out as a Jesuit, a nigger, you know, and all this sort of stuff. And you're sort of like, well, wind your neck in. Not happening though, is it? They can't help themselves. They've got no self-discipline. They don't know what a moral compass is. So this is what this is something that I'm having to experience on a daily basis at the moment, it seems. But I'm not accepting their way of being. I'm not going along with it, because, you know, it's not just me that's been upset by this. I've seen people today who've been affected by the extent of what these people are like, and quite a few people as well, and passed away in, you know, and they've sort of been like a victim on the periphery of the effects of what these people construe, debauchery, drugs, alcohol, all the shit that goes along with it. There's people on the periphery who've died as a result of this. So, and I've had to witness that. And none of this is nice. But I'm very much aware. I'm very much aware of the damage that their activities and the way they sort of bleed people. And my attitude to it is rebuke, resist it every time. And I don't think there's many people who do that. There's not many people who are strong enough to do that. But I am. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I've started as I mean to go on. But this vlog is just like, again, self-defense, self-protection, just so later on down the line, be a collective amount of evidence just to say, look, I've told you what these silly fuckers are like. I've told you exactly what they're like, and they won't be using their techniques, tactics and what have you to try and diminish my character. I'm made of stronger stuff. Yeah. That's just how it's going to be. And while I am in a minority at the moment, there is people whose ears are being turned, people who are recognising who these people are, people who are recognising that this sort of way of being isn't necessarily the way that everyone needs to go, you know. And yeah, so that'll do for this protective vlog. Stick it on YouTube, and see if anyone has anything to say about that, you know, about being called out as a nigger. A bit sort of, I suppose in a way it's a compliment, because whenever you're talking about minorities, sometimes it's a reference to soul. You know, there's a lot of people that have abilities, let's say, blessings, and I do wonder if it's almost like a compliment in a way, but I took it as offence. You know, I took it as offence, and yeah. Anyway, I'll leave that for now, because I think I'm just talking for talking's sake. Anyway, right, so that's self-preservation vlog. The date, I think the date is the Monday the 14th of June, and it is 22:25. So there you go. Peace out.